Hello dear CMA aspirants from South India. As you all already know, Akash Agarwal Classes has launched for you all 100% English lectures in English for CMA Foundation students giving their examination in December 2025 and onwards. So here I am going to tell you how do you enroll in the batch. You just have to join our WhatsApp community which is given in the link. Fill up the Google form again given in the link and do download our mobile application Akash Agarwal Classes to access the notes. You all know the lectures which we are going to conduct will be 100% covered. There would be no subject which we are not taking care of. So we are going to take care of each and every subject, each and every concept. We are going to take MCQs for you. We are going to provide test papers. We are going to take live mentee sessions as well. Lectures which we are going to take for you all are 100% recorded lectures and not dubbed lectures. And you all know we have exclusive team ready for you all to teach you for your CMA Foundation December 2025 attempt for subject wise as well. And we are uploading the lectures on a weekly basis. All the important links which will be useful to you all are uploaded in the description box. Since we have many students who have cleared CMA examination at all the levels from Akash Agarwal Classes, and to reciprocate the love which we have received from South Indian students, we are here for you all taking lectures 100% in English, so that we can clear your CMA Foundation December 25 attempt together. So keep studying, do watch all the lectures till the end, and do show some love by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and putting up a word in the comment box. Keep studying. Bye-bye.
Hello to all my dear CMA Foundation students, and yes, welcome back to Akash Agarwal Classes. And this is your part B, session B of your chapter Economics and Business Environment, which is your macro part wala chapter. Now, if we just revise once what we have seen in the section 1, with the session 1, basically we have seen what do you mean by economic and what do you mean by the business environment. Later on, what is business, what are the objectives of business, what do you mean by profit, we have seen all that. Plus also I have told you that many MCQs can be asked over that. Also I've shown you that the type of MCQ which has been already asked to you on the objectives of business in the prior paper, right? So next, what do you mean by business environment, how does it influence? There are two type of environment, which is just recollect everything whatever we have seen in the prior lecture. There are two type of environment. One is internal environment and second is external environment. Internal environment is an environment which is what controllable completely. In that we are studying all about the SWOT analysis, that is strength, weakness, opportunities and threat. Strength and weakness is internal completely our part, but opportunities and threat is all about the external environment, right? Going forward, the external environment is beyond the control. We cannot have control on the external environment, and it is again divided into two parts. That is, one is micro environment and second is macro environment. Later on, after that, we have seen what do you mean by macro environment and also its components. What are the components? Let's see once. The components are basically suppliers, consumer or customers, competitors, marketing intermediaries, market and organization. So these are the components of your macro environment. Sorry, micro environment. Later, let's start in the session. We are going to start with the macro environment, macro business environment. So yes, it is completely external to the firm and thus beyond the direct influence and control of the organization. Obviously, it is the part of external which is already beyond the control. So how can macro be beyond the control? How can macro cannot be beyond the control? So it is also beyond the control, right? We cannot have control completely on the macro business environment. So basically, in this topic, we are going to see the demographic environment, the socio-cultural environment, the technological environment, the natural environment, and many more expected questions can be asked from this particular topic as well. And later on, we will be moving forward to the macro environment is again divided further into pestle analysis, right? That is also very important. And also at times many students get confused in the macro components and the pestle analysis. You don't have to worry, it is one and the same only. It is just that one or two components are such that can make you little bit confusion. Not It can create a little bit confusion, but not more than that. So you need to watch this session, you need to watch this lecture, and yes, definitely your doubts will get cleared. And one more thing I would love to say, as I say you many times is that ki Akash Agrawal classes is basically taking Hindi lectures, English lectures, I can say till now. But yeah, this is for the first time where Akash Agrawal classes is conducting the lectures in English also. That is 100% English. So make sure that you focus on the quality and the content which we are providing to you, because it is exclusively for CMA. Yes, you heard it right. And any of the pronunciation mistake or any of the grammatical mistake, make sure that you avoid it, because you are there for a proper knowledge and not for that, right? So I hope you understand and you cooperate us with the same thing. And also to like the video, do share it with your friends, and do subscribe the channel, so that many more videos for you all, many more lectures for you all in English, 100% English, are going to be made available on our YouTube channel. So yeah, make sure that you attend it, and make sure you subscribe the channel as well. So let's go forward with the components of macro environment. So what are the components? Basically are the economic environment, political and regulatory environment, socio-cultural environment. At times it is said as social environment, at times it is said as socio-cultural environment. Both is one and the same only. Just the word has been added, that is cultural, but either ways, both of the topics, both of the points, both of the words are same, and you don't have to get confused in that as well. Next is demographic environment, then technological environment, and natural environment. That is going environmental. The success of the business depends to a large extent on its adaptability to these dynamic forces of macro business environment. Going forward, as you already know, that environment is completely, flexible. So accordingly, if we need to stick in the environment, if we need to stay in the environment, we have to be updated with every of these small things, every of the needed things which customer wants, your customer is demanding. We have to make sure that we need to give the best services to them, and it completely keeps on changing. It is not in our hand. Basically, the environment is completely dynamic, and it can keep on changing anytime, anywhere, anyhow. So we also have to be dynamic if we want to survive in that particular environment, if we want to survive with that particular product as well. So these are the dynamic situations, and yeah, your adaptability to the environment is very much important. So let's go. The business opportunities and threats, as informed you before, it is an external part completely. To any business firm depends on, to a large extent, on those forces of the macro business environment. By analyzing the macro business environment, a firm can formulate its strategic policies to grab the opportunities, and can take firm decisions to stay away from the threats. By using your strength, you have to make sure you can get your opportunities, you can grab the opportunities when you're able to find it. And also you need to understand your strength as well. By using your strength only, you can use the opportunity, you can grab the opportunity, and you can make your threats away from everything, right? The example which we can take is Jio, Airtel, and we specifically, right? They are having a good competition, a healthy competition between each other, and they have to make sure that obviously if they want to survive, they have to bring with some different strategies in the environment, so that the customer get addicted to them. As you came up with a strategy in the start, that because basically they wanted to attract the customers, so they started giving free services to the customers, and tried to attract people, and could take a good bunch of people. And then yeah, now you can see where Geo is and where the shares of Geo are, right? So yeah, let's go. Components of macro business environment, the MCUs can come over here. Basically talking about that, dash includes in demographic environment, dash includes so sorry, in demographic environment. So the first option is population size, second is age structure, the next is geographic, and fourth is all of the above. So the right answer is option number D, all of the above, or vice versa. It can be asked that which environment includes geographic, age structure, ethnic structure and everything. Which environment does it include? So it is your demographic environment, right? So yeah, let's go and make sure that you read with me properly, you understand the topic properly, because this topic we are going to see later on again in the pestle analysis, which is going to help you a lot to understand and to attempt the MCQ questions as well. So yeah, first is your demographic environment. It is talking basically all about the population size, the age structure, the gender, the sex, and everything, right? The business is heavily dependent on population size, age structure, geographic distribution, ethnic makeup, and distribution of income. Ethnic makeup, basically talking about it as a statistical representation according to the gender and all, which I told you before, right? They have not classified it completely over here, but the ethnic structure is all about the statistical data in gender division and all. Next, demographic characteristics and its changes has far-reaching implications on the future competitiveness of the company and also on the formulation of the strategic policies. So these are the points which you have to keep in your mind. I'm marking it, and you also need to mark. Plus, also I'll be providing you the notes also of this chapter in a very short and a very precise way, so that it will definitely help you to score good marks and revise it quickly at the time of your exams, and that will definitely help you. Trust me, but make sure that you do it, nothing else. And yeah, let's go. Next is your economic environment. The economic environment, see, economic environment, where economic comes, there come your demand and supply, there comes your inflation, there comes your GDP, there comes your budget, there comes your recession, there comes your customers, the demand and everything, right? So what is all about economic? Let's go. Let's start. The economic environment refers to the nature and direction of the economy in which the company operates. It is basically talking about the whole unit of the economy, right? It is talking completely about the whole economy. On the one hand, economic environment includes situation and resources markets like money market, labor market, raw material availability, services, and supply market, which influence the supply of inputs to the enterprises, their cost, the quality, obviously. Looking after the demand and supply, which is completely in your microeconomics. The price is determined on the basis of the demand and supply of the customers. So yeah, you have to understand that it is complete price stability and everything is related to the economic environment. The reliability of the suppliers. On the other hand, economic environment determines the strength and the size of the market. The purchasing power in an economy, inflation, purchasing power, there where comes a purchasing power, there comes inflation. On the other hand, economic environment determines the strength and size of the market. The purchasing power in an economy depend on current income, prices, savings, circulation of money, depth and credit availability. Income distribution pattern and the propensity to consume together determine the marketing possibilities. This is your MCQ question. Mark the point. Income distribution pattern and propensity to consume together determine the market possibilities. Obviously, the amount you have, the amount you can do the advertisement. When the advertisement is high, obviously the product has been known by many of the customers, and obviously from there only you will get the demand of a particular product. Economic prospect of the country and its inflation rate has far-reaching impact on the operations of the firm. This can also come in your MCQ, so mark this as MCQ. Next, going forward, next is your political and legal environment. Right now, I won't tell you anything about it, but yeah, when we see all about your pestle analysis, definitely I'll show you something, and there can arise a confusion, little bit of confusion, as I told you before, but I'm not scaring you. Just relax, don't worry about it. But then yes, if you get confused over here, obviously your 2 marks are completely gone, so we don't have to do that. So yeah, let's go. Political legal environment. Political, where comes political, there comes government, right? Where comes legal, there comes rules, regulations, policies and procedures. Business is controlled by government policies, that is fiscal, monetary, industrial, labor and export-import policies, etc. A business strategies follow the changes in regulatory framework and their impact on the business. Next, firm prefer to operate in a country where there is a sound legal system, obviously democracy, right? It matters a lot where there is a legal things, like if the things are banned, then it should be banned. The traffic police and all the rules and regulations are followed or not, everything has been seen. And obviously firm would prefer operating there only, because when there are external rules and regulations which have been followed, and definitely the firms in the industry also are supposed to follow everything, right? Taking it into a license part, or the rules part, or the system part, or anything. Firms must be concerned with the relevant laws relating to the companies, consumer protection, competition, intellectual property, foreign exchange, labor, etc. Political pressure groups influence the decision making process of organization by encroaching into the trade union activities. Apart from this, political pressure group tries to protect the consumer rights. Obviously, we have seen at the OC part as well in the you can say in our 11th 12th standard or the business environment. You must be having that subject as well if you are a CBSE student or any other state board student. This particular part will be there itself in the syllabus, that what are the customer or the consumer rights in the form of business services. So protect the consumer rights, women rights, and minority rights by putting pressure on the enterprise. In India, rivalries within political parties, lack of political consciousness among huge number of illiterate and party-stricken people, influence of ex-zamindars and business groups in the leadership of political parties, etc., stand in way of making an efficient and strong government. Because of all this, sometimes we think that why a business should survive, right? But then yes, all the macro environment components are way important, because it is, if you want to survive in an environment, you have to make sure that you are following each and every component. You are following, and you're making sure that none of the political parties, or none of the legal way, or none of the demographic thing, or none of the economic environment is being you can say damaged by any of the way. If it is done, obviously you cannot survive in the business environment. So yeah, let's go. Also, lack of political stability creates uncertainty in business environment. Next is your socio-cultural environment. It is talking all about your values, your beliefs, your traditions, and everything, right? At times, your ethics is completely important, which is same and common everywhere, which everyone is supposed to follow. But if we talk about belief, it is completely different in all the ways. It is as per your traditions. You want to follow, you follow it. You don't want to follow, you don't follow it. Simple it is, right? So yeah, social culture comprises of social traditions, values, beliefs level, and standards of literacy and education, the ethical standard and state of society, the extent of social stratification, conflict and cohesiveness, so forth. Just mark this. This can come in your MCQs as well. What are the components? What are the things included in your socio-cultural environment component? The core belief of particular society tend to persistent. It is difficult for businesses to change those core values, which becomes a determinant of its functioning. For example, the old caste system in India is supposed to be one of the important reasons behind the lack of labor mobility. Another social institution in India, like the joint family system, also created a class of lazy and dependent people and restricted the entrepreneurship and saving propensity of the individual, because obviously the joint families wanted that their child should work in their business only, which was basically the agricultural business. And they made, because everyone were dependent on each other now, so they made completely you can say no people were independent over at that time. Like if I know that you are there and you are working, then why I'm supposed to work? I know that you are working, so I'm not supposed to work and all day, right? So yeah, this is the example. Culture, now this is the MCQ which you have to make sure that you need to mark it down. Culture is the sum total of societal behavior. It includes three business elements, that is knowledge and belief. Like for example, I know I need to survive in my environment, but if I have a grocery shop and I belong to family who don't eat non-veg, right? So it is my belief. It is my belief, and somewhere or the other, I know that if I keep some non-veg items, or you can say the masalas and everything, the spices and everything, if I keep that, so definitely my sale will increase. But then it is my belief that if I don't eat it, then obviously I don't want to keep it in my shop as well, right? So that is my belief. I know that obviously the sale will be increased completely, and it will help me for survival and stability in the environment. Many would customers would come and attract my to my shop and everything. I know that, but then it is my belief that if I don't eat, then why would I keep it in my shop as well? So this is my belief. So this is all about the socio-cultural traditions, right? So let's go. First is your knowledge and belief. This can come in your MCQ. Knowledge and belief. Next is your ideals, and last is your preference. According to the preference, according to the taste and preferences, you can go forward with all the things. The cultural characteristics of any society are very important in determining business strategy. For example, Nestle company brews a variety of instant coffee to satisfy different taste patterns in different countries. Also, what Nestle tries is now, like not Nestle, I can say, but I can talk about the Starbucks. I can say with those Starbucks. Let's see the example of Starbucks. Just a second, hold on. Let's talk about the Starbucks. What they do is that obviously we get coffee everywhere, right? It is all about the porters, five forces, which we are going to look again forward. Many people sell coffee. Many people sell coffee in cafe or in the shops, or there are many more like so sorry, Starbucks or Tim Hortons, you can say, right? So what Starbucks do is that they try to make sure that the coffee beans which they get, they make sure that this coffee beans are not provided by the provider to someone else. It is only and only to be given to the Starbucks people, because if the coffee beans are gone to someone else, obviously the taste can be somewhat same, and there won't exist a proper Starbucks company which used to exist if their coffee beans goes to someone else. So this is a strategy made by the Starbucks also. And as I'm talking all about the sustainability or survivability, what Starbucks did is that beforehand they just only had all about coffee, but later on they got a threat obviously, and they saw that people can shift from Starbucks to some else cafe also. Why it is so? Because obviously bacha log, Starbucks is providing only coffee. I need coffee and snacks as well. So if Starbucks is not providing snacks, why would I go there? I would go to some cafe where I'm getting both of the things, the coffee also and the snacks also. Then later on, what they did, I mean to say the Starbucks, what they did is they started providing, what do you say, snacks as well. They made sure that customer would feel special, and by writing the name of the customers on the coffee layer, or you can see on the cup, on the glass and everything. So they made sure that the customers would feel special. So all these things they tried, and this is all relatable to the pestle analysis only, all about the macro analysis. If they want to survive, they did all the things. So many more strategies are being changed, looking after the environment as well. And again the same thing which is repeated over here, that if you want to survive, obviously you need to uh, be updated with the environment also. Let's go. Next is technological. I don't have to say any more thing about this, because the COVID is the prime example, and this chapter is all about that only. The COVID is the prime example where new work has been started, that is work from home. New concept has been started. It was there before also, but then the what do you say, the possibility of all the things has been increased a lot. So the work from home has also been started, and the live classes and the recorded classes which you can see, the new systems, the new technologies evolved, and it helped completely to boost up the economy complete way. So the level of technology development, you can see the internet also, right? Because of the internet, many things have been changed. The research and development department have came into existence in a very broad way. So yeah, let's go. Type of technology in use: the speed with which newly invented technologies are adopted and diffused, the R&D activities for the innovation of new technologies, etc., determine the technological environment of an economy. With the introduction of the green revolution in Indian agriculture, green revolution have helped agriculture sector a lot by providing many more services to them, the pesticides and all the things, right? So, India could create a wide domestic market for modern agriculture implements like power tillers, tractors, pump sets, threshers, bulldozers, etc. On the other hand, with the increase in the generation and distribution of electricity, the demand for various electrical home appliances has increased in India. You must have seen, you can go on Amazon, and you can see there is a machine who makes the food as well. It is just that we just need to, I think there are 300 plus items or something like that. We just need completely AI type of machine. We just need to mention which dish we want or what food we want, and they keep on giving us the instruction like you need to put 2 kg this, you need to put the oil, the amount and everything has been instructed from their side, and we just need to do the following things what they have instructed, and we get the food. It is completely the AI part. So many technologies have came into existence, and this is all because of the environment which is completely dynamic. The need is very, very, very much increasing of all the customers and all the way, right? So technology can bring opportunity or pose a threat to the business. When organization adopt technological innovations quickly and set the business strategy, it will set an advantage. But if they fail to adopt innovations to their advantage, it will be a threat. With the evolution, like for example, for Nokia, what they did, they are nowhere now. They exist nowhere. They try to come up with different strategies, but Samsung and iPhone had completely, taken the whole shares and everything, and have attracted many people to them. So no one is trying to see what Nokia is providing or not, because they were completely, not updated to the technologies and whatever they are needing. They just tried to act smart in all the ways, but they were not completely, you can say, what we say, successful in achieving the desired strategy which they first implemented, or they thought, or they planned. So with the revolution of information technology, extensive use of internet has enabled a huge number of employees to work from home and provided strategies with access to richer source of information through Google search machine. Important. It also provided customers with access to online shopping through internet. Next is your global environment, going global. That is not domestically, but it is talking all about the world economy. Today's dynamic competitive landscape of the business world requires that companies must analyze global environment as it is rapidly changing. The new concept of global village has changed how individuals and organization relate to each other. After LPG, the global environment has been came into existence. That is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Before there were many stringent rules, and obviously it had set a boundary. Now also we have a boundary, but yeah, the government has made something thoda sa liberal, and it has also made the import export possible. New migratory habits of the workforce and the increased offshore operations are changing the dynamics of business operations. For developing countries like India, globalization means integration with the world economy. Mark this. This can come in your MCQ as well. So mark this point as well. Okay. This integration process turns the world economy into one huge economy. Such unification calls for removal of all trade barriers among countries. Also, this can be asked in your MCQ. Right? In the earlier years, now this is a completely the prior process before globalization. In the earlier years, this is basically a reading part, so you don't have to worry about it. Just read with me so that it gets simplified to you people as well. And you can mark some important points which are needed over years, like for example, WTO, MRTP Act, Competition Act, and everything. In the earlier year of Indian planning, 1951 to 79, different economy policy tried to protect Indian industries from foreign competition, providing import substitutes. Public sector enterprises were subjected to various restrictions and control measures. Since early 1990s, the government of India has been following liberal policies through drastic reduction in government control over various economic activities. Under this change environment, private sector enterprises can flourish and can expand in various sectors in India. The foreign investors and multinational companies can also enter easily in different sectors without much trouble. The government has been following the principle of decontrol and delicensing to ensure private sector enterprises, which resulted to replacement of MRTP Act by Competition Act MCQ. MCQ. This can come to in your MCQ. Make sure you write it. Make sure you mark it. Also, you can write the full form with me over here. Write it in your margin or somewhere. MRTP Act is all about the monopolistic and restrictive trade practices Act. Can be asked or cannot be asked. It is not completely, compulsory that it will be asked only. But yeah, let's see, because the institute have is trying its best that the level of the exams are been increased, and so we must make sure that we are prepared with every of the single small thing, and nothing would harm us in your exams. So yeah, let's go. Some new acts have also been passed to allow the entry to the private sector enterprises in the insurance and IT sector. It is talking all about, the liberal way, which I have told you, liberal privatization, liberalization, and globalization. Many public sectors have been, converted into the private sectors since the inception of World Trade Organization (MCQ) in 1995. Several countries of the world, along with India, were the members of WTO, which is a multilateral trade arrangement. As per the provision of WTO, India was forced to amend Indian Patent Act 1970. These acts are basically important, and the years are important. Ma'am, are they supposed to be asked in the exams? Anything can happen. So we as I told you before sometimes only, we have to make sure that we completely complete all the things, and we don't leave any of the single small things, or else I would have given you this particular paragraph for the reading purpose, right? Because it is all about that only. Trade related intellectual safeguard the trade related intellectual property rights. So India had to move from process patent to product patent regime. For example, in the pharmaceutical sector, only the process of manufacturing a drug was protected under Indian Patent Act. But according to the WTO provisions, patent will be granted for a period of 20 years for product invented. So the MNCs in the pharmaceutical sector, which invest huge sum of money in R&D to develop new medicine, would be benefited. So it is all about WTO, and secondly all about the MNCs as well. However, the policy of globalization make the Indian business firms vulnerable to business fluctuations in the world economy. If the world suffers from global depression, or if the stock market crashes in US and Europe, this will affect the business economy in India also. A final corollary to globalization is the formation of trade blocs, MCQ again. Trade barriers, trade blocks. I've already there are different two words, nothing else. Countries like corporations form strategic alliances to ward off economic and technological threats and retain their respective comparative and competitive advantage. MCQ again. These are the examples which can be asked to you in the format of full form as well, right? So yeah. Next is last COVID-19 pandemic riddle. So this is basically your reading part only. This is talking all about 2019, where we was attacked, the complete global attack it was in called as COVID-19. Lakhs of people died all over the world, and many of them had to shut down, and also many people tried to work from home as well. The IT industry flourished too, while manufacturing industry found it difficult. So this can comes in your MCQ, that which industry flourished. So this is your the IT based industry flourished while COVID, because work from home was possible at that time. So Now the next topic is pestle analysis. Mark this as important topic, and here comes the question like what P stands for in pestle, what its E stands for pestle, what S stands for pestle, T stands, E stands, L stands for pestle. I'll show you, just a second, hold on. See, here is the question basically. The term P in pestle stands for what? Right? As informed you before, also the term W in SWOT analysis stands for what? Opportunities and threats are related to what? External environment, right? Selection of the internal components which influence the business decision, culture, mission, objectives, all of the above. Right answer is all of the above. Dash environment is within the control of the business, which internal, which is beyond is external, right? So I think you've almost solved all the questions, all the MCQ except 1 and 2 of this topic. It is your December 2024 paper, the past paper, December 2024, and you're able to solve it. So it is a big thing for you people, right? Going forward, you can see over here, let's try if there is something we have already seen in question as well. Here it is the pestle analysis, which we are going to read it right now, and then we'll come over here. So let's go. Just a second, hold on again. Yeah. Ha. Here is a pestle analysis. The term pestle is a term coined to describe a framework or tool used by marketer to analyze and monitor the macro environmental factors. I told you before only, you are going to see some topics which are completely same. So here are the macro environmental components, and pestle almost same. When you will see the name, you will get to know, right? Have an impact on organization, company, or industry. It examines the, see, political, we have seen, economic, we have seen, social, we have seen, technological, we have seen, environmental also we have seen, and legal also we have seen. So we have seen all the topic. It is just that we need to brush up with all the ways and get specific to the pestle analysis wala part. Pestle analysis helps an organization to formulate its strategy policy. This tool is especially, this tool is especially used when starting a business or entering a foreign market. MCQ, mark this topic, mark this point. And as I told you before, we are going to see the Porter 5 forces. So here is a Porter 5 forces. You can see, see, just a second, use in collaboration with other analytical tools such as SWOT analysis and Porter 5 forces. So here are the Porter 5 forces. The first one is rivalry sellers, next is your new entrants, next is your substitute products, next is your bargaining power of suppliers of inputs, and last is your bargaining power of buyers. Again, here comes the question that which of the following is does not include in your Porter's 5 forces, or which of the following is relatable to the Porter 5 forces. Here comes the two different ways of asking the MCQ questions, so it should be easy for you. Everyone with me once again. First is your rival seller, second is your new entrant, third is your substitute product, fourth is your bargaining power of suppliers of inputs, and next is your fifth, that is five Porter forces, we say it as bargaining power of buyers. The strategists of the organization have to determine whether the collective strength of the 5 competitive forces is conducive to earning attractive profit. So here is your acronym for pestle. This can comes in your MCQ. Now here comes one statement, that is the pestle analysis is simple to understand and quick to implement. Let's go to the MCQ which I've shown you before. Here is your MCQ. The pestle analysis is simple and quick and tough to implement. Simple to understand and quick to implement, tough to understand and easy to implement, tough to understand and tough to implement. So the right option is simple to understand and quick to implement. Such a easy question. And if you don't read a single line as well, you are, you will miss your 2 marks over here, that is for sure. So yes, you have to make sure that each and every single line is being, read completely in a good way. So okay, let's go. I'll show you some question later on, not now. I'll show you the question, but let's go. The advantage of the tool is that it encourages management into proactive and structured thinking in its decision making, as every single environment is being affected, and your business gets definitely affected to all the macro environment as well. components of macro environment as well, and same goes to the pestle analysis, because almost of the topics are same in each of the way. Now the confusion wala part which I have told you is in macro session we have seen political and legal both together, but over here if you see the political is different point and legal is different point, so you have to make sure that you need to understand that which of the items are been included in this, what are the things that get influenced by political factors and what are the things that get influenced by legal factors, are completely shown different in this way in this topic. So yeah, you have to read the question properly and you have to see that they are expecting us to answer for macro environment or they're expecting to answer for pestle analysis. Okay, let's go. These factors are all about how and to what degree a government intervenes in economy or certain industry. It is a part of good governance. The nature of government influences may be channelized through government policy, political stability and instability, corruption, foreign trade policy, tax policy. The topic which you will get confused is in labor law and environmental law. These both are the laws, and it is but obvious by looking after the word we think that it is talking about the legal environment, but no, it is not talking about legal. The labor law, these two exclusive point you have to keep in your mind. The labor law and the environmental law is relatable to a political thing, political environment. Second confusion which can come to your mind is here is your environmental law, so it should go in which environment? Environment, E for environmental, yeah, L for legal. So it is in none of the above, it is completely in the political environment, right? I hope it is getting clear. And let's go. Environment and trade restrictions. Furthermore, government may have deep-rooted control on the nation's education system, infrastructure, and health regulations by talking all about the examindars and everyone. All these factors have to be considered while assessing the attractiveness and viability of the potential market. Going forward, next is your economic factor. Economic factors are determinant of certain economic preferences. Same topic this is. The factors are economic growth, exchange rate, inflation rate, interest rate, disposable income of consumer, and unemployment rate. Whatever points I am marking, bacha log, please make sure that you mark with me, because looking after the past experiences, I know that which type of questions can be asked by the examiner to you people in the exam. So make sure that you mark with me, make sure that you completely understand what I'm trying to tell you, what type of questions can be asked, so that it will be helpful for you people, right, to secure 2 marks, because this chapter is all about scoring 5 to 6 questions, that is for 10 to 12 marks. This chapter is for 10 to 12 marks, so make sure that you don't have to miss this 10 to 12 marks, right? So let's go. These factors may have a direct or indirect long-term impact on a company, since this will affect the purchasing power of consumer and could possibly influence the demand and supply curve. Consequently, this will also affect the way companies price their products and services. The offers and everything has been given, so yeah, it can affect the economic environment. On March 11, 2020, WHO declared COVID-19 as pandemic. MCQ, this can come in your exam, affecting 213 countries worldwide. Significant economic impact occurred across the globe due to reduced productivity, loss of life. Obviously, there was loss of life, there was unemployment. Because of unemployment, there existed the problem of poverty, and obviously that leads to the economy, that leads to it stops the economy, it stops the growth of the economy, it completely stops the growth of the economy. Okay, let's go. Let's move forward. So, yeah, significant economic impact occurred across the globe due to reduced productivity, loss of life, complete disruption of public health, disturbance of mind as well, because many people were disturbed in COVID because you were completely in the four, walls, right? And being together everyone, and having no habit of sitting at home and everything, that has definitely I must have affected the mind as well. Trade disruption, global supply chain disruption, etc. As a result, there was significant reduction in income, a steep rise in unemployment, I told you before only. Transportation, tourism, service, and manufacturing industries. Only the IT sector was flourished. No other sectors were so completely in demand at that time. Social factor, this can be called as socio cultural factors as well. This aspect of general environment represent the demographic characteristics. So whatever we have seen in the macro components, that is the first point of demographic environment, you will be able to see complete points over here, population and everything. This include population trends such as population growth rate, age distribution, same, right? You can see it. Safety, emphasis, health consciousness, lifestyle preferences, and cultural barrier. We have seen same points in your demographic environment of your macro components. These factors are important when the firm is targeting a group of customers. This apart, the firm gets an idea about the local workforce and its availability. Next is your technological factor. Again, same thing. This factors refer to, this is same. There is no difference in this. So you can read this topic completely. Next is your environmental factor, has been focused only relatively recently. They have gained importance only when we have felt the increasing scarcity of raw material, when we have failed to reach the population target and the carbon footprints target set by the government. This is your MCQ. These factors include ecological and environmental concerns such as weather, climate. Obviously, if you don't take care of your environment is not going to take care of you people. That is for sure, right? It is completely a tit for tat wala concept, you can say. And yes, environmental offsets and climate change, which will invariably affect various industries, tourism, farming, agriculture, and insurance. Furthermore, growing awareness of the potential impacts of climate change in affecting how companies should operate and the products they offer to have sustainable development. These has lead to increasing number of companies getting more and more involved in the practices such as CSR, corporate social responsibility, and sustainability. And last is your legal factor. Although these factors may have some overlap with political factors, they include more specific laws. The labor law we have seen in political, the environmental law also we have seen in political, such as antitrust law, discrimination law, environmental law, competition law, consumer protection law, copyrights and patent law, and healthy safety laws. It is clear that companies need to know what is and what is not legal in order to trade successfully and ethically. If an organization trades globally, this becomes all more important to know the legal aspect of trade, because each country has their own set of rules and regulations. The traffic system, the different rules and regulations has been followed by different countries in different ways. So it is very important to understand the rules and regulations. Moreover, the strategic must be aware of any political changes in legislations and the impact it may have on the business. Further, all these problems necessitates the appointment of legal advisory in the organization. So here we are done with the legal point as well. You have to make sure that you need to read these points properly and make sure that you mark with the questions or mark with the points which I have told you before, because this will help you to recollect the points. This will help you to solve the MCQs as well, because concepts are many, are, you can say, it is important. Concepts are important because after you understand the concepts, later on only you can solve the MCQs. Before that you cannot solve your MCQs, that is for sure, right? So let's go. Next is the examples of pestle analysis. What are the examples of pestle analysis in the banking industry? This will be your homework. You need to read it yourself and make sure that you read it, or else definitely then it will be a loss for you if you don't read it, and this can come in your MCQ as well. So this is the MCQ. Let's see the Uber. We'll do it together. But yeah, the banking system will be your homework. So what are the political factors taking into consideration with Uber, a leading taxi service provider, to deal with bans in many countries? Political way. So here comes the government. Bans in many countries to follow minimum wage rules, to follow the rules of drivers insurance. Next is your economic factor, talking about reasonable fare charges, accessible or easily without any hassle. Next is your offers job opportunities. These are your economic factor. What about the social factor? Social factor is all about the offer a better ride experience than other taxi services, user friendly, quick pickup than other like Meru, Mega, and Ola. Technological factor, mobile app for users, social media and other electronic media well for promotion. Environmental factor, use of automobile fuel may increase. City traffic congestion may also increase. And last is your legal, need to prevent ban on Uber in many countries, need to follow the labor and employee safety laws, and country specific patent laws also are also a big concern. So these are the things which you have to make sure that you need to attend it and you need to see it in a complete way. And I think we are pretty much clear about the pestle analysis. So let's go forward. Here comes your next topic, that is emerging dimensions of Okafu. You have to make sure that you need to mark this topic is completely. See, I'll tell you, the macro part is all about the informative part, right? It is not like micro, in which you have many more the conceptual things, that if the price is increasing, the demand is decreasing. If the price is decreasing, the demand is increasing. These things are not been seen in macro part. Micro is completely different, macro is completely different. Macro is all about the informative way. So you have to make sure that you keep in your mind what all things you are supposed to do, right? Like for example, I'll show you one more thing. See, this was your MCQ. The most fearful situation in the banking industry is the accumulation of non-performing assets. I'll show you the same. Here it is. The most powerful situation in the banking industry is the accumulation of non-performing assets. Looking after this, like see, assume that you have not studied any of the chapter. Now, looking after this chapter, you can, think that this question is relatable to your banking topic, but no, it is not. It is your business environment topic, which relates to your non-performing assets. So, these topics are pretty way important for you all, and I hope that you don't ignore this topic, especially this chapter. You don't have to skip this chapter, and this is an interesting chapter. Basically, the many things I've made you mark, so make sure that you read it, nothing else. You don't have to do anything else. Now, the letter you can see, it is VUCAFU 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, right? Before COVID, you just had this 4 letters, that is VUCA, that is VUCA. You just had this 4 letters, that is VUCA. F and U came into existence after COVID, that is after 2019, where there comes into existence the big pandemic, the global attack which was there, right, in 2019, and which made people very more restless, and they were very worried about all the things. And let's see forward what do FU stands for. But before that, we need to see what does VUCA stand for. I call it as VUCA, so you can also call it as that, and it will make you interesting to keep in your mind as well. So VUCA is an VUCA is an acronym first found in 1987, MCQ again, based on transformational leadership theories of Warren Bennis and Bort Nanos. 1985 to describe or to reflect on the V for volatility. Here comes the MCQ again for you people. I'll show you. Just a second, hold on. Yeah. Here it is. The alphabet V in WCAFU stands for. The right answer is volatility. Just a small paragraph, and this gives you 2 marks, right? So I hope you understand the importance of this chapter now. To describe or to reflect volatility, V stands for volatility, U stands for uncertainty, C stands for complexity, A stands for ambiguity, FU stands for fear and unprecedentedness, right? Of the external environment. Obviously, we know that we are talking about the external environment only and not about the internal environment. Because of this new and completely unpredictable environment, see, I'll tell you, maybe it has some different terms, that is volatility, uncertainty, complexity. This is everything related to your uncertainty only. Basically talking about you don't know, you never know which thing can arise at what time. Anything can happen anytime. So it is completely unpredictable. So this WCAFU is all about the uncertainties and unpredictability only, right? It is just that the terms are been given and the terms are been explained in different way, which leads to your uncertainty only. Make sure that you keep it in your mind, right? So yeah, let's go to describe or to reflect. Because of the new and completely unpredictable environment, it is almost impossible to predict threats and opportunities. But if you know that there exists an opportunity, it is your work that you use your strength and you grab the opportunities, right? However, at the same time, the potential for disruption is very high. The US Army War College introduced the concept of VUCA to describe the volatility, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous multilateral world perceived as resulting from the end of the Cold War. It was vital to establish an ability for defense amidst complete uncertainty. With the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, which engulfed the entire globe like wildfire, 2 more letters have been added. It is named as one only, but yeah, 2 more letters have been added. That is fear of unknown and unprecedentedness. As the coronavirus, that is COVID-19 pandemic, sweeps across the world, it is causing unprecedented widespread concern. There was a fear there, second wave came, third wave came, and it was like that again we are going to have a complete, you can say, lockdown again. So it was completely a fear. There was very much people were in fear. They were worried about all the thing, that again how they are going to manage everything, because it was almost the first wave, the second wave, the third wave, and now many people have died. There were many more concerns as well. So people were worried about it. So the widespread concern, fear, and stress, all of the which are natural and normal reaction to the unknown and uncertain situation that everyone find themselves in. The strategies of most of the organization are at loss as to how to cope with a fearful, unprecedented situation. Here comes your next topic, that is emerging dimensions of WCAFU. Dynamics of WCAFU world. In order to understand the dynamics of WCAFU world, we have to look a closer at different dimensions of it. The dimension as followed. Let's see the detail things of dimensions of WCAFU. First is your volatility. MCQ. It is a statistical measure on one hand which describe amount of uncertainty. I told you before only. Even though there are different dimensions, and the different dimensions are named as something else, that is V for volatility, U for uncertain, C for complexity, the after all conclusion comes to one point, is it is all about uncertainties. Anything can happen anytime, right? On the other hand, it is a concept that refers to speed, volume, nature, and magnitude of the change that may or may not be in pattern form. The change may occur in an industry, in a market, or in the world, or in the general. The first is, yes, it is a statistical measure. The second point is, it is all about speed, volume, nature, magnitude of a change. The more volatile the world is, the more and faster things change. The challenge is unexpected and unstable and may be of unknown duration. For example, violent fluctuations in price after a natural disaster catch the suppliers on the wrong foot. Here, the solution may lie in stockpiling of the inventory, which we have seen already in the money. What was the reason of inflation? People, the hoarders, they do it purposefully. They stockpile the products and the goods, and later on when there is a complete demand, they make sure that the price are being increased, and this leads to inflation, but obvious. Other examples may include fluctuations in the stock market and innovations in technology and digitalization. Proper risk management may solve the stock market fluctuations, while quick adoption of new technology will help the organization grow at a faster pace. This is your all about volatility. Second is your uncertainty. It refers to what? It refers to the extent to which we can confidently predict the future. Keeping in mind volatility, uncertainty becomes the ability to predict or not to predict what will happen amid volatility. When there are no concentrate trends or pattern, it becomes more and more difficult to establish what will happen next and to make decision based on that. Uncertainty is lack of clarity. Make sure you have mark this thing. It is completely, see how the volatile, more comes the uncertainty problem. So it is completely lack of clarity. We don't know what we are supposed to do at that particular situation, because some things can be predicted that can be true as well, but some things are there which cannot be predicted. However, decision making under uncertainties by the strategists of the business firm is possible with the help of game theory. Mark this as MCQ. This is very important. Game theory: the condition of uncertain occurs when the decision maker has no information about the probability of the occurrence of different state of nature. This you must have seen in your you can say management wala part, where there is a game theory in decision making. In decision making wala topic. Next is the minimax. The minimax rule put forward by Newman and Morgenstern states that the decision maker should minimize the maximum loss. We say now that we need to maximize our strength and we need to minimize the competitor's strength. So this is same. You have to make sure that you need to minimize your maximum loss. You have to make sure that you don't be in loss comparatively. Similarly, the Maximax rule state that strategy should be chosen with which maximizes the maximum possible profit. The Beers rule is another method which the strategies of the business firm adopt in making decision. Two things we have seen: one is your Minimax and Maximax rule, and second is your Beers rule. What they say is that which the strategies of a business firm adopts in making decision under uncertainty. Next, for example, the launching of the product of a prospective competitors may destroy the business of an established product, and the future of its market plunges into uncertainty. In order to tackle such a problem, the business firm should invest in collecting, interpreting, and sharing information. Obviously, before going to any of the project, any of the product, you need to understand that what are the prerequisites that should be done, what are the prerequisites that should be seen before starting with a new business or with a new product. And here you need to do your market scanning completely, which is very important. The business firm should invest in collecting, interpreting, and sharing information so that it can preempt. Information analysis network helps reduce the effect of uncertainty. This can come in your MCQ as well. If you have a quality information, obviously you can take a quality decision, and obviously you can predict many more things. For that, you are going to predict your future. So for that, you need to have a proper historical data, the past data, and also you need to analyze the present data as well so that you can predict the future. Next is your complexity. When environment is volatile and uncertain, the situation as such automatically becomes more complex. This happens because the cause and effect are no longer linear. So it becomes a challenge to discern which development has led to such which consequences. Complexity describes the amount of diversified states a system can put into certain point of time. The more diversified states a system can get into, the harder it gets to manage this state. Like for example, you have data, right, on which you have to take the decision. It is completely statistical data. The more you have the data, obviously it gets difficult for you to take the decision, because you need to organize the data, you need to see if the data you have is any of the way duplicate data or the unwanted data. You need to filter the data, you need to process the data, and then you can take a proper decision, right? So the more you have the complexity, the more it gets difficult to take a decision, particularly when it comes to the long term events. It is often impossible to determine when or why a particular development took place and what factors influence it. Under high complexity, it is impossible to fully analyze the environment and come to rational conclusion. The more complex the world is, the harder it is to analyze. Suppose a multinational company is doing business in many countries, all with unique regulatory environment, tariffs, and cultural values. The strategies would like to restructure and develop specialists and build up resources which will be adequate to address the complexity. At the same time, a complex environment may be created when an action that is deliberately taken has led to multiple and very different outcomes not in conformity with expectations. For example, organizational alliances. This may involve complex legal implications. Next is your ambiguity. Okay, next is your ambiguity. When a situation cannot be clearly interpreted, its meaning not discerned and casually not determined. Mark this as MCQ. When the situations cannot be clearly interpreted, its meaning not discerned and the casuality not determined, such a situation is termed as ambiguous. This may happen when information is incomplete, contradictory, or too inaccurate to draw clear conclusions. When you are not aware of any of the thing, you have the situation in front of you, but you cannot interpret in a proper way, you cannot see, you cannot check, you cannot determine any of the thing. So this becomes very difficult for you people to analyze it and to take a decision, right? So ambiguity does not imply a lack of clarity. Clearly listen this point. It does not imply lack of clarity, rather it describes a situation where multiple interpretations are possible and all are equally valid. It is all about interpreting the data, it is all about interpreting the situation, right? In other words, there is no right solution. This is because there are many possible solutions and there is no analytical way to establish which one is right to follow. Suppose a business firm decides to sell its product in an immature or emerging market, or decides to launch product outside the core competencies. Now, here comes the question. It is not your core competence, right? It is not your part, it is not your flavor. And you are trying and you are thinking that you need to do a good product, new product. So sorry. You want to emerge a new product. So how can it be possible? Now here comes a decision maker, that whether you need to do it or whether you did not do it, right? As a solution to this problem, the strategies would like to conduct experiments. Trial and error are very, very, very important in the sessions. The experiment should be designed in such a way that the lessons learned can apply it fruitfully. In practice, the four terms volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity are related. The more complex and volatile an environment is, for example, the harder it is to predict and therefore more uncertain will be. Yet all the four represent distinct elements that make our environment, the world, a market, or an industry very difficult to grasp and control. Next and last point of this chapter is fear of unknown and unprecedentedness. When the external environment is such that business firms are engulfed by a fear of unknown dimensions, it is completely an unknown fear. You don't know what is going to exist, what is going to happen, and when it is going to happen, you don't know. But you just know that there is fear and anything can happen. Looking after the situations and environment, right? So this is all about FU, that is fear of unknown and unprecedentedness. Because of an unprecedented catastrophe, that their strategies are completely dumbfounded, which renders them extremely helpless. The classic example of this is COVID-19, that is coronavirus disease pandemic. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic has been felt by all business firms around the world. The entire globe is reeling under third wave of the pandemic in early 2022. This is because of the fact that novel coronavirus, which started spreading the disease from China in later 2012, is mutating continuously and changing the nature of the viruses. The different strains, many more came into existence, right? There were many more things which came into existence. Like, for example, the different strains of coronavirus are alpha, beta, gamma, delta, omicron, etc. Scientists and doctors have failed to predict how many waves of the pandemic were yet to come, and there was a fear, so it was called as fear of unprecedentedness and unknown and unprecedentedness. As COVID 19 has created unprecedented in economic uncertainty and loss, maximizing returns, managing risk, and ensuring the continued health of the business demands a deep understanding of changing market conditions and government policy. Infrastructure investment might pave the way to post pandemic recovery reinforced by sustainable and resilient growth. For example, mark this is very important. PM Gati Shakti, a new project, has been introduced in India in budget to 2022 to boost up infrastructure. This is made for the infrastructure facility. The outbreak of the virus is spurring the adoption of contactless digital payments, and there has been a surge in digital payment volumes across online grocery shop. Everything went online, right? Even the classes system went online, many more. Before also there was a live session facility provided, but then after COVID it has been extended to a greater extent. Let's go. National MCQ mark. National Payments Corporation of India has been pivotal to the emergence of the digital payment ecosystem in India. India Finance Minister has assured that central bank digital currency will be issued very soon, which will give a big boost to digital economy. In order to overcome this unprecedented situation, MCQ Business leaders are navigating a broad range of interrelated issues that span from keeping their employees and customers safe through work from home and contactless transaction respectively, providing support of cash and liquidity, reorienting operations, and navigating complicated government support programs. So this is all about your chapter of economic and business environment. Hope you seems it interesting. I personally love this chapter a lot, and I think after looking after the MCQs and all, you will also love this chapter because it is way easy and way interesting, and all the questions can be answered because many of the questions are direct questions only. So let's see this with the MCQ. Profit. Let's go. The very first question, yes, I've already told profit is the difference between, I've told you at the time of when we were looking after this topic as well. Total cost and total revenue and total cost, both A and B, none. So the right answer is option number B, total cost, total revenue and total cost. So sorry. The internal environment includes factors such as business philosophy and business priorities, management structure, capital structure, all. So the right answer is all. The term T in SWOT analysis stands for, T is all about threats. The components of micro business environments are firms and consumers, market and competitors, organization, all of the above. So the right answer is all of the above. I hope you can relate it and you can give the answers quickly, right? If not, make sure that you read the complete chapter once again and then you can come again back to the MCQs. The term S in PESTEL stands for strength, socio-economic, sustainability, none. So the right answer is socio-economic. The micro business environment does not, make sure you read it properly, does not, firms and consumer, market and competitors, economy, both A and B. So the right answer is economy. Next, let's go forward. The term PESTEL does not include technological factor, legal factor, economic factor and population. So the right answer is population factor. SWOT analysis does not include, it includes strength, weakness, it does not include opinions. See, I told you. The questions can be asked. Porter 5 forces model does not include rival sellers, substitute products, bargaining power of employers, bargaining power of suppliers. The right answer is bargaining power of employees. The internal business environment include factors like capital structure, market structure, business philosophy, all of the above. The right answer is all of the above. Volatility refers to, it as a statistical measure first. Second, next, on the other hand, remember, you just need to analyze, imagine. Speed, volume, nature, all of the above. The right answer is all of the above. Uncertainty means lack of clarity. Next, when a situation cannot be clearly interpreted, you have a complete situation in front of you, but you cannot interpret what are you supposed to do. So the right answer will be ambiguity. Which project have been introduced in Indian budget 2022 to boost up the infrastructure? Indian budget PM Gati Shakti for infrastructure. Under the high dash, it is impossible to fully analyze the environment and come to the rational conclusion. So the right answer is complexity. Easy, pretty easy, right? Next, true and false. Good business environment helps the progress of a particular firm. Yes, obviously it is true. The term P in PESTEL stands for perception. False. The term P stands for political. Demographic factor is associated with the boundary of a country. False, false, false. Globalization leads to concentration about domestic. False. It is all about whole economy. Health and education are the components of socio-economic factors. True. Unpreparedness is not a dimension. True, because it is unprecedentedness. Due to unprecedentedness, the employees were asked to work from home. Yeah, it is true. Obviously, a COVID topic comes over here. Ambiguity implies a lack of clarity. False. Uncertainty is the right answer. Violent fluctuations in price after a natural disaster leads to complexity. We are done with this. False, false. Fear of unknown is dimension of Wukafu world. Yes, it is true, right? So the 10 questions plus 10, 15 MCQs plus 10 true or false comes 25 questions. We are done. Let's go aage. There are more 10 fill in the blanks which we are supposed to do. The PEST analysis is to identify strength and weakness. Please don't write over your opportunities. Make sure. Obviously, these questions can be asked to you in the form of MCQ. Will be asked to you in the form of MCQs only. Can they? Will be asked to you in the form of MCQs only. Right? So the options will be given. But yeah, then make sure, because obviously opportunity, strength, and everything will be given in the options. So you have to make sure it is PESTEL analysis and talking about strengths and weakness. The political factor in PESTEL are about how and to what extent a government intervenes. Next, the main purpose of globalization is to form a trade blocks. I have made sure that you mark this question. SWOT analysis stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Demographic environment of business is mainly dependent on population size. Dash is pivotal to the emergence of digital national economic system in India. The full form you need to remember, NPCI. Dash is a statistical measure, volatility. Oh, just sorry. Right, na? The minimax rule was put forward by Newman. When environment is volatile and uncertain, the situation becomes more complex, and the more the world is, the more and faster things change, the more volatile. I hope this seems easy to you people, right? And here we are done with the fill in the blanks as well. So here we have completed with this chapter as well. Hope you find it interesting and hope you find it helpful as well. So do comment and do like the video, do subscribe the channel, and make sure that we are going to clear our obviously this December exams padafat se very soon, because this will obviously help you in getting forward for enter and getting one more step further for your journey of being a CMA. So lots of love from team AAC. Stay updated, do share it with your friends as well, and bye bye.